Today I'm going to look at a really simple but quite impressive comping exercise if you are into pop or rock or ballad type piano. It kind of ties in with stuff that's in my book, How to Really Play the Piano, which you might have seen, you might not have done. If you want to find out more about that, here's the web address. A whole section on comping in there and stuff about chords if you're not familiar with the chords I'm going to use. But yeah, very simple little exercise. Let me play it through and demonstrate it to you. That was once through. Now I'm on the second time through. Okie dokie. All I'm doing in the left hand is playing a very simple chord progression, just using the first and fifth notes of each chord, and we're going C, D minor, F, G, A minor, G, and back to C to start the loop again. Okay, let me play that through one more time. C, D minor, F, G, A minor, G, and back to C. Okay, now if you want, when you're playing this, you can put the middle notes in. Trouble is, as I say in the book and as I've said in one or two other places, when you're playing this far down, if you try playing those chunky chords, they sound really muddy if you put the middle note in. Much clearer, much cleaner, much better sound if you just go for the first and fifth. Much better, just first and fifth. Okay, so I was doing a little bit of rhythmic work there. But that's all part of the improvisation. We'll look at doing that again in a second. Everything I was doing in the right hand, though it might have looked a bit complicated in places, was 99% based on three notes: C, F, C, F and G. Okay, sometimes I went down to that G and that C. Once I touched a D, but I was pretty much by accident, don't worry about that. But mainly it was just C, F and G, those notes. Okay, harmonically they work pretty well with all of the notes, all of the chords I played in the bass. You get some quite interesting ones, so that you would call something like G7 sus4. Okay, and that's a bit of a weird one, bit of a discord. It's an A minor seventh with an added sixth, but fundamentally there's nothing there that sounds really horrible. Yeah, and all I was doing was playing rhythmic patterns on those. If you want to get started and get practicing with this, you could just do something as simple as this. To D minor in the left. See what I'm doing with the right hand, just rocking. And then as you start getting more adventurous, you can try different patterns like this. Look at what I'm doing on the left. I'm rocking against the right. See what I did there? Watch again. And again. So much pop comping is about this left-right rock. I'm not quite alternating them, I'm not doing that, but it's quite close, it's quite syncopated. Another thing you can do with this exercise, because it's quite sort of elegiac and sad, it's got quite a bit of mood to it. You can use it to practice your use of dynamics. This is really useful if you haven't had a classical training and you're not used to playing scales and things. One of the problems you might find is that every note you play sounds a bit the same. So you can use this to practice your louds and your softs and your ranges of expression. Notice whoops, wrong chord. Notice I'm still only sticking to those 3 notes. Bit of a change there. Okay, so just 3 notes in the left, and that very simple sequence in, 3 notes in the right, that very simple sequence in the left. You'll notice, I made a few mistakes there. I was using notes other than my C, my F and my G. I dropped onto a D at one point. Down here I went for an F chord rather than G. If you do that, don't feel it's a mistake, okay? It's your subconscious trying to branch out, trying to do different things. Listen to the sound it makes. If it sounds gross, if you end up playing something like this, you know, clearly that's, oh, that doesn't kind of work. But in an improvisation exercise like this, there aren't any wrong notes. Okay, so if you end up, you know, playing, you know, something slightly different, don't worry. See how it sounds, experiment. That's the whole secret of getting good at this kind of thing on the piano. Play different things, see how they sound, experiment, kind of pursue your own avenues. But use that exercise as a starting point, because it's a really good one. It's a really nice, easy one. Just play it one more time so you can see what I'm doing. Think about doing it in different keys as well. You know, if you can transpose, think about doing it in F or E flat or A flat or whatever. Try it in a minor key if you can work out how not to sound too clashy down the bottom. Maybe do it up here. Okay. As I say, if you're a bit unsure about any of this stuff, about chords, about, you know, how the real basics of comping work, check out my book, How to Really Play the Piano. The stuff your teacher never taught you. There's stuff in there about improvising blues, there's stuff in there about how to use lead sheets, how to comp, and loads of resources at the back like chord charts and so on. You can find out more about it at this address. You can even buy it if you're in the US, Europe or the UK. Any questions, by all means, put them in the comments thread on the Jamcast page where this post is going to be posted. Here's the address for that. Or if you're watching on YouTube, just whack a question in the thread underneath the YouTube channel. I will come back to you and I will do my best to help you. Okay, thanks very much.